Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to show you how to use Atlas.ti AI to analyze your qualitative data. So what is qualitative analysis? It's just with data reduction. You are trying to go through the data, identify information that is significant, and develop codes and team to help you to address your research question. But you can use a software like Atlas.ti AI to analyze your data. How are you going to use this software? This is where I come in to help you to use it. If this is your first time of using this software, I'm here to help you. If you have any question, you can put it in the comment section and I'll be happy to address all the questions for you. So I'm going to have a series of videos about how to use Atlas.ti. One of the videos will be overview. And this is what I'm doing. And I'm going to also show you how to use AI function in Atlas AI to analyze your data. If you have downloaded the software into your computer, you just have to click on it. And this is what you see. As you can see, there are two projects that I have, and I'm going to open one of them to show you how I analyze my data. And the next videos, I'm going to show you step by step how I develop codes, categorize the code to develop themes, and also how to do visual representation. And lastly, how to use AI tools within Atlas AI to help you to analyze your data. So that's what I'm going to provide to you. And if you have any question, feel free to ask me. If you want to use this software, I have a link in my description section with a code to use in case you want to buy this software so that you'll be able to get a discount. So how do you access this software? You just have to go to their website. When you go to the website, this is what you see. You can click here and, if you want to try, if you want to use for free for a couple of days, then you can click here and download and use it for free. They have three main versions of Atlas AI. And I'm going to show you the versions, right? So the first version is the desktop, which is the Windows version, which is what I have. They also have a desktop version for Mac users. Lastly, they have a web version. So let me show you how the web version looks like. So this is how the web version looks like. I'll have time to go through with you. I'll do videos on how to use the web version too. I have my project. You can open the project by clicking on it. And then as you can see here, these are my participants, 5 participants, their demographics, the codes that I've developed, and also the quotation. And I'll be going through with you how I did this on the web. But let's try to start with the desktop version, right? So let me put this one down here. As you can see here, when you open the desktop, this is what you can see. You see your project. So let me open one of the projects because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an overview about the main functions of Atlas CI and also what I have. The data is about burnout and 5 participants were interviewed to find out the causes and solutions about burnout. Participants were physicians. So as you can see here, this is the demographics. We have 5 participants, you see their ages and also the gender, work experience, and ethnicity, right? And the question that I want to address is what are the causes of burnout among primary healthcare physicians? The second one, what can be done to reduce burnout among primary healthcare physicians? As you can see, I have 2 research questions to address, and I was able to use Atlas.ti to analyze my data. So when you open Atlas.ti, as you can see, the project name is Burnout Part 2. The Part 1, I will also show you in the videos how I created Part 1 and Part 2. I have my 5 transcript. The file name is P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Let me show you the file names first. I have my files here, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 transcript. This document is about a research question and demographics, right? But the most important is the 5 participants. So what I did was I uploaded the information into Atlas.ti. So as you can see here, I have 5 participants here, and you see 7 here. The 7 means that 7 significant information was extracted from the data. And when you click on this arrow, it shows you which parts of the data was extracted. You'll be able to double click, and sometimes when you double click, it brings you which part. So you see here, the part that was extracted. So for each of the documents, if you have coded it, you'll see information down here to show the excerpts that have been extracted. And also under that, we have two main codes. So when you click on the arrow here, it can bring you the drop-down information, and you can see that I have my research question, because one thing that you have to think about is that the reason why you are analyzing your data is to address your research question. So for me, it's very important for you to have your research question in Atlas.ti AI before you go to your data. So I have my research question, RQ1, research question one, and also a label for the research question, because the first one is about burnout causes. So I have it here, and you can see 15. 15 means that there are 15 significant information that are connected to this question, right? So as you can see here, I have two research questions here. That's why we have two here, right? And the 15 means that 15 significant information were extracted from the data and connected to this question, right? 13 was extracted and connected to this research question. When you click on this arrow, you can see that they have been created. These are the codes that are created, and each of the codes has a significant information that are connected. So significant information are excerpts that have been extracted from the data based on the research question, right? So when you go through the data, you want to identify information that is significant. Based on the research question, you'll be able to get information that is important so that you'll be able to create a code and connect the significant information to the code. So a code is like a container. You have a container, you go to your data and extract information and drop it into the container. And I'll be showing you how to do the coding. You have memo. If you want to have your personal reflection, this is a place where you can create memos, and anything that come into mind when you are going through your data, you can document that information under memos. Networks, I don't want to emphasize on it for now. As I go through the data with you with the software, I'll be showing you the use of networks. But one thing that I want to also show you here is document groups. Think about document groups as demographics, right? So what you're doing is that you are grouping participant or the document based on a specific demographic variable. So when you click on this place, you can see that we have age, only one participant is 33, 37 is only one participant, 55, one participant. So you see their demographic information. You can look at participant as document and document as participant. So the document has been good based on the demographics that you have. So if you have demographic information, you'll be able to group the document or participant based on the variables that you have. So you can see ethnicity, you can see years of experience, and I'll be showing you how to create all these demographics, right? So let's close it and go to here. So we have to code groups. Think about code groups as developing themes. So after developing codes, you have to categorize the codes. And when you categorize them, you'll be able to come up with themes. This is where you can create themes. So you can see that I've created a theme and then connected the codes to their respective themes. And I'll be showing you how to do that too. So these are the things that you have to know for now. If you are confused, don't worry. My next videos will be helping you to make sense of all the information I've mentioned here, right? So this is just an overview of the project. You can see the documents, we have 5 documents, codes, we have 23 codes, quotations. The quotation are significant information that have been extracted from the data. We have 29. We don't have any memos, and network, we don't have any network, right? So let's go to the tabs and then learn a little bit about it and think about your data as I'm going through the tabs to give you an overview. When you go to file, you can create a new project, or you can open an existing project. If you want to open an existing project, you can click on open, and then you go to all projects. You can see all the projects and double click on the one that you want to explore. If you want to export, you can export a project, especially if you want to export your project and then send that project into the web version, right? You can click on export and then click here. Let me move this information here so that I can see it down here. So you click on project bundle. And then when you click on that, it will save that information on the computer. And then I can save it on your desktop. And then when you go to the web, you can be able to import that project into the web. So you see how you can analyze your data here and then maybe continue analyzing your data using a web version because you can export that information. You can also merge projects. You can explore, I haven't explored that yet, but in case you want to merge project, there's a possibility of you to merge project. So I'm done with the things that you have to know about files. Let's go to home. When you go to home here, if you want to upload any document or add any data, you click on add document, and then you have an option, right? You can add a file, you can add a folder, you can add a video, audio, you can import a transcript, you can create a new document and type in that information. So there are so much options here. And I'll be showing you in detail how I did mine, right? In terms of entities, think about if you want to create a folder here, within the project, you can create a folder, you can create a code, you can create a new memo, you can create a new network, right? And then if you want to make a comment concerning the project, you can easily make a comment by clicking on this one. So to make a comment. So this one is, let's say, it's just a navigator. So let's say you want to explore document, you click on that and only the document will show here so that you can explore, you can double click to open and then start the coding process, right? So if you want to explore only quotations, you can have all the quotations here, you can open the quotations and then see where the information is. If you want to explore memos, you can click on that. It's like if you want to quickly go to a specific function or specific place, this is where you can go. If you want to go to all see all the codes, you click on that and see the codes that you have created. If you want to add more, you can do that too. So this is a quick navigation tab that you can use to get to where you want to get to. You see document here. If you want to group document, this is where you go to group document. If you want to see your document, you can also see all the documents and also the groups that are affiliated to. Don't worry about this. When I go through the data with you step by step, you understand every information here. And there's a lot of things to explore. And then as you can see here, quotations too, the same thing. You can click on quotation and you see the codes and all significant information, all the quotations that have been extracted from the data. Memo to have can also group memos. You can go to codes. You can also group codes. This one is so important when you finish coding and then you really want to develop themes. This is a good place to do that. You can easily create themes and then connect the codes to their respective themes. Network is quite interesting. There are some of the functions that might not be useful for you now, but in case you want to learn more, let me know in the comment section. I can provide you short videos on some of the functions. Let's go to search and code. Let's say you want to search for a test, right, from the data. You can click on this one to search for that. Some of them, you can explore and see the usefulness. What I see here as very useful is sentiment analysis. If you want to see whether their statements are positive, negative, or neutral statements, you can do sentiment analysis. If you want to explore a more important concept within the document, you can click on concept. The great thing about this is why you can check the document that you want the system to explore, or you can check all of them if you want to, or you can check few of them to explore the main concept within the document. The bigger the font, the higher the number of times participants make reference to. So as you can see here, if you put the cursor to any of the concepts, right? You can see here that it says 4 tokens. When you go to care, there are 4 mentioned. When you go to fatigue, there are 1 mentioning. So this one, if you want to show a visual representation about the kinds of word participants use and how many times that they use, you can also show this one. It's really quite similar to the next one, which is when you click on search and code, and then you go to word frequency, and then you select the document that you want the system to search. This one is a word cloud. It's quite similar to the previous one, but this one is like include a lot of concepts, right? almost all of the information that are there are frequently mentioned in the document, right? So you can see that burnout was mentioned several times, and then you can also select all of the document or a few of them, and then you can export if you want to export and share and show it as a visual representation. This is going to be very helpful. Yes, I've reached the fun part. This is where, in case you want to use AI to analyze your qualitative data, this software is so good because it has incorporated AI model, which is has incorporated ChatGPT within that, right? So as you can see here, if let's say you are not sure about the kind of code you want to use and you want a system to help you to code, you can click on AI coding, and then you can select the document that you want the system to automatically code using AI model, ChatGPT model. I think GPT-4 or GPT-4o model. Then you check that and then go to start. And then it will be able to go through and then extract significant information and also develop codes for you. The only limitation about AI coding is that it doesn't really consider your research question. This is where intentional AI coding is so important because for intentional AI coding, the system asks you the purpose of the study, and then it will suggest research questions for you. And then what you have to do, so it's like when you can select all of them or few of them, go to next. The system will ask you, what is the purpose of your study, right? Stating the purpose, or you can even state your research question, and the system will generate the research questions for you, and you can adjust the questions if you are not comfortable or if you don't agree with the suggested question. It will go through the data and analyze and generate codes based on the research question that you have. So that's really powerful tool that you can use, especially if you are not sure about the themes that you want to use or you don't have time to go through all the data. Intentional AI coding will be good because it's based on the research question. And also, if you want AI to summarize your data, yes, it will be able to give you a summary. You can select the articles or you can select the transcript and the system can summarize your data for you. And I'll be going to all these functions in detail. So don't worry about it. The most important thing that you have to know that there is AI functions that you can use to help you to analyze your qualitative data. Then when you go to analyze, you can easily compare and you can run query. And the two functions that I normally use is co-occurrence analysis and also code document analysis. Co-occurrence analysis, you just want to find out whether there's the connection between codes, right? Is there any connection between this code and then this code and that code, right? So if there's a connection, there will be numbers here to show. As you can see here, there's no connection. If you want to see it well, you can click on this one to show there's no connection between them, right? So that's what you have to note. Another thing that you can do is that when you go to explore, you can also try code document. This is where you want to find out the connection between the code and the documents, right? So you can select a code. Let me select this code, few of them. And then I want to find out the connection between codes and the document or participants, right? So you can see here that there's a connection between this code feeling inadequate and this participant, right? So if the number is one and above, this means that there's a connection. If there's nothing there, this means that there's no connection between them, right? So this one will show you, gives you a matrix and show you the connection. And the numbers here is how the number of significant information that was extracted from the data and also that's connected to a specific code. So this one can be very useful. You can also do a bar chart. You can also do some key, which I'll really talk about that later. So these are the things that you have to know. And also in case you want to export or import, you can also use this tab. You click on that, you can import information from Twitter, you can import information from Evernote, Reference Manager, you can also import survey, social network comments. You can import code book into this. You can import groups, right? And then the good thing is that you can also export code book, right? You can see that I can export a code book as Excel spreadsheet or QDC. QDC means that if you want to export the code book and use another qualitative software like in Vivo, you can export it as QDC. So these are the things that I have for you. If you have any question, please let me know. As I said, this is just an overview. If you want to get access to this software, you can go to my description section and click on the link. And also I've put a promo code there that you can use to get a discount if you want to get access to this software. Thank you.